Major questions this morning about how hackers, or you could call them cyber terrorists, cracked into a company on U.S. soil. Now, as we all know, Sony caved to the demands, but this is not the first company that has been targeted. Less than a year ago, another major American company was hacked, and our Brian Todd has that story.
A cascading attack. Servers shut down. Screens go blank. A rush to unplug computers. This wasn't the hack on Sony. This attack hit the world's largest casino operation, including the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas 10 months ago. And this also may have been the work of a rogue nation. CNN has learned on February 10th of this year, thousands of employees at Sands casinos in Las Vegas and Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, had their computers hit. One former employee says, quote, hundreds of people were calling IT. Iran is suspected to be behind the attack, according to reports in Bloomberg Businessweek and Slate. Sands won't comment. One expert believes Iran has the capability to do this.
What the Iranians and now apparently the North Koreans are doing are taking these tactics that Anonymous has used and these other non-state groups and really bringing this now nation-state level to the attacks.
The FBI tells CNN the investigation is ongoing. A Sands official says gambling operations weren't affected, but the company was rattled. A former Sands employee says customers couldn't book rooms online for a couple of weeks. If Iran is the perpetrator, why would they launch a cyber attack on the casinos? Just months before the hack, Sheldon Adelson, the billionaire CEO of Sands, suggested hitting Iran with a nuclear missile in an uninhabited desert to force the country to abandon its nuclear program.
You want to be wiped out? Go ahead and take a tough position and continue with your nuclear development.
Iranian officials did not respond to CNN's repeated requests for comment. As chilling as these alleged attacks by Iran and North Korea are, did the U.S. and Israel start the trend with the Stuxnet attack that crippled Iran's nuclear centrifuges? One expert says Stuxnet was different.
This was traditional national security taking down, in line with the UN Security Council sanctions, one of the worst regimes on the planet trying to develop some of the world's worst weapons.
But the Sands and Sony hacks, experts say, could embolden those regimes to take it one very dangerous step further.
Other sectors, such as our finance and banking community and our critical infrastructure sectors like power plants and the like, that provide life and safety functions for our economy and for our country, could be the potential next target.
Brian Todd joins us now from Washington. Good to have you with us, Brian. I guess one of the concerns is for officials and maybe even for citizens is what about other critical systems, banking, power grids, et cetera? Are they concerned about those being targeted?
Michaela, U.S. officials have been saying for several months now, repeatedly, that they are increasingly concerned that U.S. antagonists, hackers in places like China, North Korea, Iran, elsewhere, are exhibiting the capability to hack into the U.S. infrastructure, to hit the power grid, the water supply, other infrastructure. It's a growing concern. U.S. officials have spoken out repeatedly on this. They think that the hacking capability to do this is getting better and better as we go along, and it is a real worry. Now, there is a deterrent. A lot of these countries realize that if Americans start getting actually physically hurt or even killed by a disruption to the power supply or the water supply, then there will be retribution. So that may be what's keeping them from doing it, but there is that capability.
Now, of course, Brian, the United States and Israel reportedly hacked into Iran's nuclear program several years ago quite successfully. The question now is, what kind of cyber capabilities does Iran have? Is it the same level, at the same level as North Korea apparently has right now?
Well, John, we're told it's very similar. If it's not at the same level, it's very close, and it may even be a little bit better. We're told that Iran has been developing its cyber attack capability ever since that Stuxnet virus hit them in 2010, and that, similar to North Korea, experts are telling us that they've got a team of hackers assigned to the government that's working for the government, but also that there's a likelihood that the Revolutionary Guard in Iran also kind of outsources, hires freelancers to do some of its hacking work, not just to launch attacks, but also to help them cover their tracks once an attack is launched.